Very pleased to be joined on the line by Merritt Centennials Head Coach and GM Luke Pierce. First off, Luke, as usual, thanks for taking the time to chat.
As usual, my pleasure, Brian.
And thanks so much for letting us go beyond the regular season here.
Yeah, you bet. We're excited.
Yeah, looking forward to the playoffs. First off, let's look at last week, though. Games against Vernon, Prince George, and Trail for your team. It was sort of a weird schedule with 3 games in 5 days, a Friday night off in there. What are your thoughts after those 3 and 5?
Well, we're really excited with the way we finished off against Trail. I thought the Tuesday, Thursday games at home against both Vernon and Prince George, we saw some bright spots, but we weren't able to put a full 60 minutes of hockey together, and we really haven't been able to do that for some time now. So it was really important for us on Saturday to have a full effort, and I thought it was one of our best efforts in probably a couple months here. So we're excited to build off of that one and head into Friday.
Now, that being said, what was different about that game than the prior 2?
Well, I think it comes down to guys that all realized they had a talk in the dressing room among themselves on after Thursday's game and just said, hey, enough is enough here. We have to show that we can still put a full effort in, both defensively and in our special teams and those type of things. And time's kind of running out for us to tune up here. So I think they realized, hey, this is your last chance to prove that we can do it, and just kind of got sick of the way that things have gone lately with a little bit of lack of motivation for the games. And it was nice to obviously have a real big crowd here that the guys were pretty pumped up for, and all that stuff kind of combined together allowed us to play a pretty good hockey game.
Were you glad to see that it was the players themselves that sort of grabbed the bull by the horns there and made that call?
Yeah, I think it's probably been some time coming now that you can only continue to say so much as a coach before they tune you out, and it was time for somebody else to step up and speak up for the group. And some of our veteran guys, 20-year-olds like Steve Tracera and them just kind of spoke out, hey, everybody's going to have a time when your years are coming to an end in junior hockey, and it sneaks up on you pretty fast, and you want to enjoy them when you can. And Steve mentioned that he's getting kind of sick of the way things are going, and wanted to see it turned around. So I think it carries a lot of weight when it's coming from guys like that, and the players obviously responded with a really good effort here Saturday. So
how about the mindset of a Jeff Jones, a Steve Tracera? You're looking at a guy like Blaine Bokenfour, JP Whitcop. These are guys that aren't going to be back here in Merritt next season. Are they looking at this as really a good time to ramp it up and set an example for the younger guys?
Yeah, it's amazing how fast it sneaks up on you, and I can remember it wasn't that long ago that I was in their spot. So, and I can always remember my coaches, telling us when we were, 18, 17, 19 years old that, it's going to come fast, but at the time you're always thinking, wow, it's a long ways away. I got a full year or 2 years or however many, but coming from me, that it wasn't that long ago that I sat there and went through the same thing. It really does sneak up on you. So, we talked about that as, hey, we got to, play for these guys, but also if you can, win something now and get it out of the way early in your career, it doesn't set that same level of panic in when you are a 20-year-old and it's your last chance at it. But, I expect those 4 players obviously to, leave everything out there and have no regrets with the way things end, and hopefully their intensity and dedication and work ethic here will kind of filter off to some of our younger players.
Now you've got Salmon Arm coming up on Friday night. This is a team that definitely you guys have a good rivalry with, and looking back, I mean, a lot of people will point at that line brawl that happened back in October, but the fact of the matter is that save for maybe one game, you guys have played Salmon Arm really, really tight this year, and despite a winless record against that team, what's the confidence level going into the series?
Well, we know it's it's the start of a new year, and everybody's going to kind of say the same thing, that previous records all kind of go out the window, but we have to remember what makes their team successful, and they're a very gifted offensive team, and they transition the game very quickly. So if we can make sure we use this week of practice here to build up some confidence in our system play and feel that we're giving ourselves a good chance going in there, I think we feel very confident going into the series. We've suffered a couple of really tough losses against them in overtime and in games that we thought we could have had, and I think those are probably the things that sting a lot more than say the line brawl that happened. I think that was kind of an anomaly in our season, and it's more the ways that we've lost to these guys that really sting with our players, and hopefully we can use that as a good motivation.
Now, from your point of view, you've only got 4 playoff games under your belt, obviously a first-round loss to Penticton last season. How much do you draw upon your experience as a player, playing 3 seasons in the BCHL in playoffs, 2 with Merritt and 1 with Vernon, to express to these guys what it means and what it takes to win in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think right now, being a young coach, I do have to lean more on my playing experience, and I've only had the one playoff round as a coach here, and but as a player, 3 years a year at Junior B, we went to the league finals. 3 years in the BCHL, I was in the playoffs, and then all 5 years in university played in the playoffs. So I got a lot of experience from it that way, and I'll try and relay that over to the players. And it comes down to all the little things that we've tried to stress throughout the season, whether it's winning face-offs or blocking shots, or all those little things come into effect come playoff time.
Now, one thing that you brought up when you realized that you were solidified in a 6th place spot was the fact that you were going to change up some things, try some different things. Did you get back to that, knowing that you had a playoff matchup coming up here pretty quick?
Yeah, well, we're pretty happy with what we were able to do over that stretch of time, and I think what we'll use now is a bit of a combination of some of the things that we really liked that we tried out, and we'll throw away some of the things that weren't effective, and combine them with the things we like. We'll combine with the stuff that was effective for us early in the year, and we kind of did that to an extent here on Saturday, where we combined our game and proved pretty successful for us. So we'll try and keep that going come Friday.
How easy is it to do that, though, knowing that you were trying some things for 4-6 weeks, and then all of a sudden you've got to get back to meshing the two things that you liked in terms of both of your systems and your structure play? Is that what this week is for in practice?
Yeah, and also last week we kind of slowly started to combine our tactics there, and I think you saw Tuesday, Thursday, we were already trying to get back to some of the stuff that was effective for us early in the year, along with some of the new things, and it takes some time to adjust and to put it all together. And I think come Saturday we had figured out how they're going to work together, and we'll spend this week not only looking at that stuff, but we also have to tailor some of our game towards our opponent. And it's a lot easier now with you only have one team to worry about for the next week or so here. So all of our focus will be on what they're going to bring to the table, and we get through this round, and come next week the next round we'll focus on our next opponent, and it gives you a lot of time to prepare.
Now, you only had Steve Tresera for one playoff game last season. He got hurt in Game 1 against Penticton. How much of a blow was that, and how big of a role do you expect your captain to play in this series?
Well, anytime you lose a player like Steve, it diminishes your chances tremendously. So it hurt us last year big time, and this year we don't want him to play any different or any more conservative and not risk injury. We want him to play comfortable and play the same way that he does every night, which is to lay it all out there. So he's going to be a big key for us. He's going to play a lot of minutes, and we expect him to rise to the challenge.
Obviously, every team has bumps and bruises at this time of the year. How good is it to have this many days off before Friday, and how healthy is your group right now?
Well, we're extremely healthy. We've had no issues here. It's been, like I said, with our positioning in the last month or so, we've been able to rest guys that needed a day off, or even sit out a couple of games because of some bumps and bruises, and not have to worry about winning games just to get into the playoffs or positioning or whatever. So we've been able to do that lately, and it's going to pay off for us now, where we head in with a completely healthy lineup.
Do you think that is a better sort of scenario than you were at last year, where you were battling almost right up to the last game for positioning and just to even make it into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's there's pros and cons to it. I think last year we had the playoff type mentality right away because we had played playoff type of hockey for the last 2 months of the year just to get in, and so you're already in that mentality. But the other side of it is that we're still talking about young men, and exhaustion can creep in there, both mentally and physically. And I think when we had every single night meant so much to us, eventually it drains you from a mental standpoint. And I think the first 2 games in Penticton last year we played extremely well, but didn't get the wins, and then by that point I think we were pretty much mentally exhausted. So I expect our endurance to last a lot longer here this series, and we'll be